Good morning, Sam. I'm so glad you're here. Welcome to our math club.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
Love it.
Pen and paper.
Yes, got it ready.
Wonderful. Thank you for everyone for being here. So today we just want to be able to, after we get our principal back from any investment we make, we want to celebrate the end, because when the end happens, everyone's sad and you're happy. Okay? Why? Because your principal is protected. Do you know just being of a shining light in the room, okay, when everyone's sad, makes all the difference? Because if everyone's like, wow, how could you do that? How could you just keep going from such a disaster, right? And the answer is very simple. You got your 1x. Okay, everything that you were planning to make didn't happen, but at least you had your principal protected. That is a key point in every investment. You need to be in a position where you are the hope and the ability for people to believe again. If you're not it, then someone else is it. Okay? Because there is always someone who has made money from an opportunity. If you're in a room and there's dozens of people or hundreds of people or even thousands of people, there's someone who made money. And you're like sitting there going, excuse me. You're sitting there and thinking, we all lost money, buddy. Why are you so happy? Why are you so chirpy? Why are you ready to move on? Why are you ready to go again? Oh, that's because the person who is all chirpy has ensured his principal is safe and made a little bit on top. Again, it's all about repetition of success. If you're able to iteratively improve your formula, you're able to replicate your success. And when you replicate your success, you are more and more capable of succeeding again and again and again. So today I just want to talk about the end. Did we all expect the end to happen? No one wants anything to end. But without an end, how do you tally up the scores? How do you know who has done well and who has not? How do you know whether someone is the right person to follow or someone is the wrong person to follow? Because let's be honest here. If you followed someone who you trust to the end of one opportunity and it didn't work out, you might still give that person a second chance because you trust that person. But when that person leads you to the next end and you still haven't made money, you got to start questioning yourself. Okay, fine. A third time. a fourth time. And then you look at this and you're like, why am I following this person? Because every single time I follow this person towards an end, the end looks positive for him and negative for me. And then you just have to do the maths. If he is positive and you are negative, and he is a leader or she's a leader, and he or she leads, doesn't matter if it's 1 or 10 or 100 people, you just have to wonder, wow, that's a lot of people that have been negative. And you have to just wonder, why? Why is this person who's always positive ending up leading a bunch of negative people? Well, the answer is, that's just how the world is. The person who wins, doesn't matter a little bit or a lot, consistently wins. And if they're able to win and demonstrate their winnings, not with 10 or 100 or 1,000, but with more than one person, you know what they are? They are someone who knows how to multiply. And when they know how to multiply, that's next level. Because don't you forget, if they're able to lead more than one person, and more than one person ended up with a negative result, where did the money go? Someone made commission, someone made fees. And if that means more than one, then it's no longer a positive, it's a multiplication. So you could see how very quickly a few people who are brave and a lot of people who just know how to manipulate are all of a sudden at the very, 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 very top of a structure that is not here to benefit the most. And here's the thing about reaching an end is, if there is no end, there is no money to count. There is no score to dictate. People who make it to the end see the winners and the losers. And I just want to highlight that it's always good to be a winner. It's always good to be on the winning side. And the best way to be on the winning side is very simple. Just do not be in a position where you're not at the start. And do not be in a position where you do not recoup your 1x. Because the most important thing is to protect your principal, to protect the money you've made, and to protect the people that you are responsible for. Because they might not make money in this first round, but when they hear about your success, they will ask you, And you just have to be honest with them. Because when they ask you, it is so easy for you to give them a referral link. It is so easy for you to be incentivized for them to hold and for you to benefit. Because that's how these opportunities are designed. If you are able to be disciplined with yourself, please pass on the discipline to those around you. And once you pass on the discipline to those around you, those who are disciplined with you are the ones who consistently are in the money, are recouping their 1x. Those who are not disciplined, and of course, brought in by you as well, they're the ones who pay the price. And it's okay for them to pay the price because you said everything. You told them what to do. They did not do. They are just paying the price of not being disciplined. So, where am I right now? I'm training people to be in the mentality of winning consistently. You don't need to win big, just win consistent. And to be able to win consistently, you need to be recognizing when things begin to go up and when things are no longer going up anymore. And for you to make sure that you are at the very beginning and you are avoiding the end, you just have to have a clear state of mind, knowing that your money's already back to you and the rest of the ride is just depending on how greedy you are. And there is nothing wrong with that because it's just a ride at the end. You've already recouped your principal and the rest is just fun. So I just wish that everyone realizes that there is beauty in us playing in a ecosystem that is just beginning to be transparent. Because when we are just beginning to be transparent, when this ecosystem is not, it just means that we're just surrounded by a lot of people who are not used to this transparency. And when we're surrounded by so much that is incapable of being transparent, then we are perfectly positioned to benefit from something that is on the rise. The last thing you want is to be part of something that hurts those you love. And how do you make sure that there is absolutely no choice but for your immediate circle to win and win again? Is just show them the data. Show them so much data that they understand it is so important to be a day zero investor. And it's even more important for them to never, ever, ever complain to you when things go wrong, because things go wrong after you recoup your principal if you're a day zero investor. On a transparent platform with data shared every single day, everything always goes down only after the first batch of people are in the money. So if we ensure our own discipline, then why are we not able to consistently win? Why are we not able to bring people with us to consistently win? Let's recognize the patterns, and in a relatively unsophisticated and new to transparency, an ecosystem that is new to transparency, we just have to recognize that this group of people, okay, this very small group of people are the first to validate what is already obvious through me, okay? What I say is just nothing new, but it's just another point of validation for everyone here that we just need to be first in, first out, and then recycle, recycle, recycle. Consistently winning is better than just winning once and never winning again. Consistently winning allows you to educate consistently more and more and more people. Because people only believe you if you are consistent. So I've been consistently providing people the opportunity to come in at day zero and consistently, a lot of people choose to not be consistent. And you know what? That is why I'm here, because I'm tired of the inconsistency. I'm tired of people, you know, all of a sudden thinking you guys are geniuses, and the next moment they hate you. You know, we just need to give the people around us a set formula to make the market so that they can take from the market. And to be makers in the market, you need as much leverage as possible. And the only way you maximize leverage is to be consistently day zero again and again and again. And that is why I want to ensure you guys that as long as you guys are willing to ask me the right questions, I will give you the right answers. And to be consistent is all about just being here to give you the right answers again and again and again, because the formula's mathematically proven. And if the formula is mathematically proven, why stray from what is guaranteed to work? So I guarantee you, okay, if you're able to be in something on day zero and maximize your leverage, be ready to finish strong with your 1x secured and your party poppers ready to go when the end does come. So I am ready. I want you guys to be ready. To be ready for the end, and to be ready for the end with a mindset of bringing all the people who are not ready for the end into your leadership. Because when you have a right state of mind, then everything follows you. And the only way you have a right state of mind is if you are ready for the end, whilst everyone else is not. And I believe there is someone asking, why the end? Because if things don't end, no money is made. If you put a US $100 bill into your wardrobe, 10 years later, you take it out, it's still $100. That money was always there. It just never, ever ended. And when there is no end, there is no money to be made on your side. It is always the people who are disciplined, who are taking money away from people who are not. Okay? And I want you guys to set your goals on what you want. I want you guys to put the money into things that you feel will get you to your goals. But I only want you guys to put it in on day zero, to take out your 1x, so that whatever is going towards the end is just a learning experience for everyone, because nothing is at risk anymore. Nothing is at risk. You are almost guaranteed, unless the other party, the counterparty, is retarded, you are guaranteed to take out your 1x if you are a day zero investor. Thanks, Kirsten. Back over to you.
Got to unmute myself. I have a question, Sam. You said if we ask the right questions, you'll give us an answer. Do we PM you those questions, or do we bring them to math class?
I mean, bring them here, because, I think whatever questions exist, they're great questions that everyone else should also get the answers to.
Yeah.
So
I'm just meaning, like,
I'm looking for.
If I have a specific question, is it appropriate for me to ask it in here? And this is about being a day zero investor, because I think I'm starting to get it, what you're trying to say. You've been trying to say it to me for a while. I'm only just starting to get it, and it's more about you know, because we get nervous to invite people to things, you know, but if we can understand the concept of bringing your team with the same mindset, like everyone's learnt the same thing to be day zero investors. So you're a team, but you're all coming in at the same time. You're all pulling your principal out at the same time. That's what you're trying to say.
Yeah, because then there is no fragmentation in the team.
Yes. There's no one that comes
Okay.
in top. Yeah.
If you end up taking out all your money and then you say this works, and your team comes in after it works, you know what is happening? It just means the project or the platform or whatever you want to call it ends up cashing up after you have finished getting back your principal. And if it's a wave after wave after wave, then it just means that everyone is cashing out until the whole thing has less deposits than withdrawals. Okay, because we all know the maths. If you look at the blockchain of a deposit wallet and a withdrawal wallet of all these opportunities, right, as soon as the withdrawals are more than deposits, finish. There is no reason, excuse me, any of these opportunities will keep selling a product if the cost of selling the product is higher than the deposits. Okay. And I'm not calling things anything beyond, you know, a business as long as they don't lie about their source of income. Okay. If they do not lie about their source of income, then it's fine. I mean, I've never lied about the source of income when it comes to opportunities that I represent, because you know what? When things reach an end and there is no reason other than the withdrawals being more than deposits that it ended, and people look at me and go, okay, that's a great business decision. So to be on the other side, you have to understand the reason why it is important to be a day zero investor, and don't wait until you cover half your capital or all your capital before inviting people, because then you are not inviting them to be with you on the same time. Okay, when that doesn't happen, then you are in trouble, because when they lose money and you make money, they will say to you, why? If everyone in your team comes in at day zero, and then you say to them, I'm making a small commission for bringing you in, but I am starting at day zero with you, then there is no reason for them to ever be in a situation to come back to you and say, hang on a sec, you screwed me. It's only when you make twice your money and they basically only got half their money out, that is when the problems start. Okay, when you got twice your money, they got their principal, and then after that they kept on going and going and going until nothing exists anymore. Hey, at least they got their principal. It is of no concern to you. It is so important that when everyone starts on day zero and everyone gets their principal, you know what? It doesn't matter if they lose everything after that and you make twice your money, it does not matter anymore, because at the end, you both still have made more than your principal and high five each other, because it's always about staying alive and learning. Because when you are alive and you win, you know what happens? It just becomes so much easier to win again and again and again.
Get it? So my next question would be, no, I won't ask it on the class. I'll ask you later. Well, that was a great class. There's a questionnaire, Sam, question on the new projects that come into Bend. Are those ones we should consider as day zero investments as well?
Yes, because the objective really is to include no liability in the past. The problem is, right, people use, oh, but you lost money in the past, so we'll give you some free shit, and then they drag you across, right? The problem with that is you end up losing a lot of new people because you're taking a lot of old people to get free things from past mistakes. Why should you reward losers? A consolidation prize exists only in kindergarten. Okay, we're not children anymore. We're full grown adults. If you lose, you lose. Recognize the loss, move on. Pay full price for the next opportunity, because you know what? It's way better than the next opportunity. Oh, trying to drag you across with some free shit. Okay? Because you know what? Something discounted, something free is never worth anything. Pay full price, because that's what the financial market does. If you go right now, okay, and look at the share price. Let's have a look. The Google share price right now is $136. So it's almost back at all-time high. Now try and find someone who will sell you the share at even 2% discount to the current price. No one will sell you that. You know why? Because in the last 24 hours, there has been over $2 billion trading volume on a $1.7 trillion market cap. That is a 1.3% turnover in the share price of Google. So, you know what? If I sell you shares of Google at a 2% discount, you'll just sell it back to the market and make a 1.96%. You know, so it's like me literally handing you the profits because I decided to sell you at a discount. That is not fair. And whatever is not fair does not exist. So what I want to do is give you transparency, get you guys used to transparency. And once you're used to that kind of transparency, you're like, hang on, why should I play in an environment that has risk because they're no longer as transparent as what I'm used to. That is what this industry is missing. And so, no legacy, no liability, day zero. Okay. If something is finished and they're trying to drag you along with free shit, stay away. Stay away. Because paying full price is the only way you get ahead. Because no one can say anything about anyone when the value is the value. So I just want to reiterate that when I work with people, it doesn't matter what position they're in, they are here to sign a deal where no money is exchanged. I'm not paying them, and they're not paying me. Because you know what? When you have super smart people and super wealthy people together, we're not asking each other to prove ourselves or themselves to each other. We're asking each other to spend the most valuable thing together. Okay? And that is time. That is time. When you lock a bunch of super smart people and super wealthy people together in a room, no money is exchanged, but all the knowledge is exchanged. And when that happens, you know what the super smart people and super wealthy people do? They leave that locked room and then they just take money from the market. So we have to understand the market needs opportunities, but the opportunities are only available for those who are able to protect themselves from the hype, because have fear when people get greedy, and get greedy when everyone is fearful. You need to be anti-cyclical, because when you are against the cycle, you have the most to benefit. So as long as you are against the cycle and you're in a transparent environment, diversify, but also go all in. And don't hesitate.
I love that, Sam. And I think that's why Vend is a great thing, because you can diversify within one place.
Yes, yes, absolutely. And that is why it is important for us to make sure that everything is on the shelves on day one. Okay? Because what we need to make sure is we come into a market that is educated, that realize each and every single product is independent to each other.
Yes.
A supermarket does not go bankrupt when one product disappears.
Yeah.
We need to make sure that people understand the difference between a product on the shelf and the platform it's on. And once people understand the difference, then we could repeat this day zero investment mentality that leads to us guaranteeing our 1x and, of course, riding the wave towards a guaranteed end where we celebrate.
Makes sense to me. You guys getting this?
I was going to message you, Kirsten, if I can talk to you about this later
Yeah, mate. Yeah,
in
yeah.
private again.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Sam, can I just reiterate or just get it in my head? So then I get as supermarket, and each project. Oh, each project is a product within the vending machine, and I totally get that. Is there kind of like, I know you're trying to get people to understand how to use it correctly. Is there like a time frame or anything like that where you think people will have understood it correctly to move on to, like, for them to move on? Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I mean, look, if we look at the statistics, the problem with Vend is the products launched one after another.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so usually first mover advantage means that the first product that is able to gather the most momentum will just launch and take the most market share. It is proven that the first product has taken over 60% market share. Even Vend packages was just, I think, 16%.
Mm-hmm.
So everything else, the other 5 products, was all fit within 20% of the market share. So what happens? Everybody looks at the store shelf, right? And then, you know what? When things move towards an end, when things move towards an expiry date, what happens? At the end, everybody knows that the product that is approaching the end will do sales. Okay, they will discount in order to drive the product out the window. That's just how it works in the real world, because the store is there, but the people who are in the store realize, oh, well, this has been around for long enough. You know, like a hot album that was released 3 weeks ago. They just cannot sell the way it released in the first couple of days. So what happens? Discounts, bundles, everything. And so what results is people are able to get more in a shorter period of time, but with an understanding that it might be off the shelf soon. So when the hottest product is 60% of the market share of sales, all of a sudden disappears off the shelf. What do you think happens? Everybody thinks the supermarket's closing. So when the message wasn't communicated clearly, it just meant that everybody feels that since the supermarket's closing, they better get their gift cards redeemed and then leave.
Mm.
So the cycle really needs to be involving people who are a little bit more educated, understanding the difference between a product and a platform. A supermarket is a platform. A product's just something that sits on the shelf. So when we do, okay, calm the 40,000+ people who are subscribed to Vend down, okay, and they've all subscribed with a small amount of value or a low value package. Once we calm everyone down, everyone needs to understand, right, that a supermarket onboards new products whenever an old product disappears, it is not the end, because an end of a product means new products get space on the shelf in order to market and promote and grow to a new audience. And that is all I want to say.
Love it. Love that. Well, I think that's a great way to end the call, actually, with what you just said, because going forward, people that have been in this class for, I don't know how, the last 2 or 3 weeks, I know my thinking has definitely changed, and I can probably guarantee most people in this room has. And we can see
That's true.
the supermarket. We can see the supermarket and the products on the shelves. Yeah. One product may be discontinued. There's going to be new products, and we've got to know that if we want to go in and it's a shiny new product, we go in on day 0. We get our principal, and then after we just, anything after that is gravy. Okay. Anything after that is gravy. And if there's no gravy, oh, well, we got our principal. Next shiny object. Well, that's my understanding, and I'm grateful for that understanding. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, everyone, for being in the class today. And I look forward to our next class, and look forward to seeing what's coming out in the very near future. Next shiny product.
Yeah, and just make sure if you are bringing people, just bring them into the shiny product at the same time.
Day
You
one.
know, it's always it's always great to do the Groupon thing, right? We all buy together.
Can I give you an example of Paul and I did this? This was us being very careful about who we bring in, right? We heard about VidiLook. I'll just give this as an example. We heard about VidiLook, and people were saying, oh, you're making heaps of money. And so we watched them for a little bit. Oh, yeah, it looks okay. Let's just go in and have a try ourselves. We're not going to tell anybody else. So we went in, and it worked. Like, we were like, this is great. Then we thought, we've got this big team of people that, we were in a platform with before. We'll just pay for them all to come in. We'll put our money in, so there's 0 risk for them. So we did that, but by the time we did that, it was on its way out. So I get it. And the other mistake was that they had no skin in the game, so they didn't care about learning about it, anything. So you've really opened my eyes to a lot of things today, and I'm grateful, very grateful. Won't do that again. We'll build a team of day 0 investors, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct is right.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Alex gets it. Yeah. Awesome.
How I see it, I see the vein as a new Forex market or new stock market with best companies. That's how I see it. And so the Bang platform is a list of companies.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you
Brilliant.
could choose what you want, and you have a decision and an option to choose which item on the shelf you want to pick up. If you decide not to choose this item, you don't want an item. So, example, if you like apples, choose apples. If you like grapes, choose grapes. As simple as that is. So people just have a concept of that there and find out which fruit or product they like.
Yeah. And when you break it down like that, it is that simple, right, Alex? It's
Yeah.
just,
Yeah, that's that simple.
awesome. Thanks, buddy.
So, hi, Kirsten and Sam. I was just thinking about the raw data.
Yeah.
And so, like, where the products come from and how they're performing and all that sort of stuff. And you just can't find it. Like you were saying in one of the maths class, it's really hard to find that raw data. And I've only been in this industry for 1 year, and I'm just learning about lots of things. But I go to the data and I think, where do you find this data? Where would you look?
Well, you just hit me up, right? I'll send you what data you need. It's just so simple, right? You have to understand. A product has an owner, okay? and this is what I explained in an earlier maths class. Okay, COLT, right? Clot.
Oh.
It sounds disgusting, right? But the community, which is C, the leaders, which is L. Okay, O is the owner. Okay, and the T is the technology company, right? So when you have C, the community leader and owner, and T, which is a technology company, you also need to understand the owner employs presenters. The presenters are supposed to herd everyone off the edge of a cliff. Okay? So whoever is presenting is paid by someone. Okay? The leaders are here to explain to you the opportunity and also tell you not to get too excited. Okay? To come in at day 0 and to get out. That's what the leaders are supposed to do, right? But not everyone does it. Why do you think you're able to make the cream? It's because there are people out there who are not disciplined. They come in on day 15, they came in on day 30, they come in on the last day of an opportunity and then finish, right? So, what you need to do is to ask, if it's, for example, Vend, right? You have to just ask the technology provider for the data. Okay, I'll provide that, no problems. Because at the end of the day, I'm here to just go and work against the owners. Against the owners, right? The owners are never wanting to say to you, disasters right upon the horizon. The presenters that the owners hire just show the data. But they show the data real quick and then they're like, yeah, but let's keep going. You know,
Yeah.
for me, right? I'm like a Bloomberg, okay? I'm here to give you the data so that you're able to make a decision, so that you're able to win and you're able to lead people to win with you.
So really, there should be a whole lot more leaders in this class, because I'm thinking leaders just don't know that. Some leaders don't know this stuff. They're not teaching their people to come in at day 0, but they need to know that for when the supermarket's open.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing, right? The tech provider, me, has to be honest. Okay? And in this case, I'm not wrapped up in an NDA, so I have to be honest. Right? When I'm honest, you know what happens? I attract more traffic because I create more winners. The platforms that don't show data, that don't show material contracts, are demonstrating that they are here to create more winners, create more losers so that they can win themselves. Okay? As a tech provider, you know, I'm here to work against the owners because I don't care if a product is off the shelf early because I know there's more room on the shelf for more products.
Got it. Got Paul with his hand up. Paul, you got a question, darling? He's away at work at the moment.
No, I've actually got a comment. I mean, everything goes in trends. And like you said, wife, we went and tried the waters before we got other people in. Absolute mindset was screwed up there because we snoozed and everyone lost. If you snooze, you lose in this game, man. Okay, while it's okay and important to have the data, if we're in at ground 0, the data does help, but I mean, if you look at the way things trended, everything's trending the same. Now, with Vidi, they started bringing out what I call shiny new toys and sales, and then those sales increase from there. And of course, it's not going to support it. It's not going to support that ecosystem, and it fell over, right? So everything does go in trends. And yes, I 100% agree. And Sam said this on a Zoom call just the other day, that you guys need to come to math class. Like, if you want to use your leverage and understanding to make things better for yourselves, join the math class, because it gives you a different mindset. Now, and like you said, wife, our mindset was to try the waters, just to test it, see how it is. But obviously, I already know now that's we introduce our people too late to the game.
Mm-hmm.
So no, I really love this math class, and it's a mindset of how things work, because we all work in different industries in our lives. And so for me to mind the industry I work in, which is oil and gas, I have trust and belief in my company that it'll be around in 10 years' time, which it still is, right? But this is finances. This is different. Everything moves in a different way. Everything trends different. It's just finding out the new trends and how things go. While some people may think it's ruthless, it's the reality of the business we're in. So it's not ruthless at all. It's just like improving your game, like a chess player would. Don't change your game, improve your game. If you were to run away to something else, are you equipped to handle what's coming? Because the same thing's going to happen. Because if you don't learn anything here, you'll just continue to bunny hop from thing to thing to thing and get basically screwed. So all I'm saying is stand your ground, learn your skill, improve what you're doing so that you can make it better for yourselves and those around you. And yes, as far as I'm concerned, the leaders have a responsibility to have all their team players in the same mindset. If you're all in the same mindset and traveling with the same thoughts, mate, you're a force to be reckoned with. But if some are going yes, no, well, if you go no, you lose. Like, it's like the old trader that goes, oh, I'm going to sell it at $10, and he sells and it went to 12. Oh, it's like, hey, you made your decision, you stood by it, you still made some money. Maybe next time you'll change the number. So I just like to thank you, Sam, for life's hard. There's hard times, and there's lots going on in the world. So I really appreciate the mindset that you give myself and my wife, just to try to get the skills we need to be in this financial, to learn the new financial system and the new trade that we're in. Basically, so thank you, Sam.
Yeah, thank you, my darling.
Look, Kirsten, Paul, I thank you guys, right? Because you know what? The tech guy behind the scenes is actually the market's best friend. And what I mean by markets is just the leaders and the communities who want to listen, right? Because the owners can never tell leaders and community what is about to happen. They just can't. Okay? Because if you guys win, they lose. That's how the market works. The tech provider just makes a constant fee regardless of who wins and who loses. You know, I don't give a shit. And then everybody's like, oh, but Sam, you know, your name's all over this. And I'm like, look, honestly, when I provide tech, I sign an NDA, which means no amount of beating and bullying will allow me to ever reveal anything. But you know what? Listed companies on the stock exchange are forced to audit or delist. And we're missing this in this space. Okay? These companies in this space don't even last a year. So of course there is no audit. Of course there is no accountability. But I'm here to redefine this space. So on day 0 to the last day, There is daily accountability as long as people are asking for it. And if they're asking me, I have to answer. I'm here to provide answers because you know what? If we don't have this level of transparency and accountability, what do we have? Another collapse with another group of confused people. I don't need confused people. I need people who are able to replicate success. And these smart people are the ones who create this space into the mainstream. So gather as much leverage as possible by being a day zero investor. Recoup your 1x so that your mind is free of worry, and then be as aggressive as possible, because aggression in the world of finance is what always wins, because it is a marketplace that does not favor those who are not here to keep pushing and pushing and pushing. Okay? But your mind must be free of everything, of worry, of being scared, right? And the only way you free your mind of that is just getting your 1x back. And the fastest way to getting your 1x back, which you are yourself responsible for, no one else is, right? Don't go begging when things collapse, right? You have to get your 1x. And the fastest way you get your 1x is only by having the most leverage as possible, which is only possible by being involved in an opportunity on day zero. So I understand this call has gone on for way too long, but it is so exciting to see the wonderful people here and just making sure that we get the most accurate knowledge, okay, so that we're able to replicate success over and over and over again. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Sam. It's been a great class. I didn't even notice the time, so that means it was a great class. All right, guys, thanks very much for attending, and I'll get this ready and put onto the Math Club chat. Thank you so much. See you all for the next exciting episode. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great class.
Bye.
I love you all.
Love you too, buddy. See ya.